Yo, what's up, everybody? It's been a while. RJ Stewart here. My last day in Vegas today. Be flying back, but I wanted to take a little bit of time in the hotel room and just touch down with everybody, see how my entrepreneurs are doing, how we've been pushing forward this year with new things you guys are doing, and also touch on a few things. So I'm checking my emails all the time. I'm seeing the DMs that I get. I'm seeing I even get text messages now. So I actually got a separate phone just to respond to you guys' text messages, the questions that you ask, the tips that you ask for, and everything. And I promise you, I've been a little bit slow at this year. This year, I've been doing a lot of new things and trying a lot of new things. So the learning curve for me for these new things is it's kind of crazy, but I promise you, I will get back to everybody. I will respond, even if it's just to say thank you for messaging me, and it's not a question; it's just a comment. I promise you, I will get back to everybody in due time. Just be patient with me. But I've been out here in Vegas for a couple of days now. And um, I've seen a lot of things differently and met a lot of great people. Had a lot of amazing conversations, and there's one common thing that I've noticed from all of the business owners that I've met out here in these past few days, and new clients, and competitors as well. It's a great industry to be in, so it's easy to have conversations with anybody without feeling threatened or feeling like you're threatening them, or nobody really takes a defensive stance when we're having these conversations. But what I have noticed is there is a huge surge of entrepreneurs emerging, especially since the pandemic. I mean, it's crazy. The pandemic seems like it was just yesterday, but in all honesty, it was about 4 years ago. But the effects of it are still lasting. Like there are still entrepreneurs still climbing up right now, still um, developing their mindset and still pushing to be entrepreneurs, business owners. All right. So I say this to say, I'm sorry, I'm trying these new mic clips, the little wireless mic. So I keep bumping it and I'm too conscious of where it is. And I'm working on that. But yeah, I'm working on that. But anyway, yeah. Um, there's been a huge surge of entrepreneurs, and I push this all the time. I'm gonna push it again before I go into everything else, but I won't dwell on this for too long. But the mindset is not there. You guys have to be reading. A good friend of mine, Dan Elias, said the one thing that changes entrepreneurs in the biggest ways, and then they start to see success, is the ABCs. Um, they're gonna be A is the associations, the people that you hang around with. Listen, I know it sucks to feel as if you're leaving friends behind, or they'll guilt you, or you think you're too good for me, or whatever. It's not so much as, oh, you're too good for them or anything like that, but you're in a different space in your life. You're in a different space, and it doesn't mean that they can't still be your friend, but there's certain times where they have to fall back. You're doing something completely different. You're in the new space in your life, and you can't bring old habits, old friends, old acquaintances, old associations into the new thing that you're doing. One, because they're not going to understand it. They're not going to understand it at all. There's a huge difference in mindset between somebody who's purely dedicated to their 9 to 5 and a person that is actually building their business. Because a person that's doing their 9 to 5, after 5 o'clock, they're done. They're checked out. It's time for fun. For an entrepreneur, 5 o'clock is probably when their day is really ramping up. There's been days where I've been up until 2 o'clock in the morning, working on revising a business plan, or um, revising or changing or developing a marketing strategy. But they won't understand that. They'll want you to come drink with them. You're always in front of your computer. You never spend time with me, this and that. And they don't understand that your time is something that is so much more valuable to you than they could ever imagine, you know. So that's one, associations, and you have to be very, very aware of who you associate with. Two, books that you read. And a lot of people really truly think that they can get by ignoring this. They think that really they can push forward without reading books. Now, why do you read a book? Why do you read a book? Why do you text a book? Why do you self book? Answer simple. A book is written by somebody with tons of experience, years of experience, whether they experience trauma, whether they experience success, doesn't matter. What they experienced, they're taking the time to write it down in a book. Why would you not want to expedite your growth through somebody else's experience in the format of something that's tangible, that's written down? I don't understand why people would not want to do so. That and this is a lot of people really believe that I don't have to read a book. I don't need a book, you know, blah blah blah. But the truth in the matter is that these books they're timeless. They age very well. Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad, that book still applies to today. Like, nothing's changed. You might have to change um some some lingo or some syntax, but the core concept still remains in all of these books. Michael E. Gerber's The E Myth. You'll hear me talk about that a lot. Now that book was written, I think, in the 70s, maybe, I forgot. But regardless, that this book is still applicable to what we do today as business owners. So for you not to take the time to read and get all of the experience of these authors have and apply it to your business, what's the other alternative? The other alternative is that you don't take the time to read these books, and then guess what? You make all the mistakes that they made, all the costly mistakes that they made, all the time consuming mistakes that they made. For what? Why would you make the mistakes when they already gave you a guide to where you can just follow it step by step, make a couple tweaks without duplicating their mistakes? That doesn't make sense. So that's the B's. We have A's for associations, we have B's for books that you read, and we have C's for conferences. And conferences don't have to be huge conferences. These can be things like your local BNI. These can be things like I like to use this app called Meetup. And if you go on it, you put your info in and everything and say what you're interested in. You choose entrepreneurs. And there are gatherings and meetings of entrepreneurs in your area all over. And you can easily just register to go to one of them, show up. A lot of them are virtual, so you could get on the camera, be on the Zoom with a bunch of entrepreneurs sharing ideas, uplifting each other, creating business deals with each other. And this is where a lot of us fail right now. And I drug into this, but it's for a reason. The C's, conferences. I also want to call you add another C to it. So ABCC, why not? Collaborations. We're not collaborating with each other. We're all in competition with each other that we don't even realize how much we hurt each other by not collaborating. And this hurts our branding and it hurts our brand positioning. And let me give you a perfect example. Right now I'm at the Mirage in Vegas right now. There's this bottle right here, Icelandic Glacial, a bottle, right? This price tag on it is $18 for this bottle of water. Now, outside this hotel, I wouldn't buy it. Inside this hotel, I probably still wouldn't buy it. But they're able to keep this $18 price tag. Why? Because people are buying it. Now, they could easily do less money, or they can a lot of people say, why would I spend that amount of money for a bottle of water? As an entrepreneur, I say, how are they charging that much for this bottle of water? And the answer is simple. It's C, collaborations. They're not afraid to reach out and Talk to the Mirage Hotel and say, hey, look, I want to work out a deal with you exclusively in your rooms. Hold this bottle of water, and it's going to sell for $18. You don't work with any other water company, and let's ink this deal. Let's collaborate. Let's work with each other. You guys don't do that. You guys don't do that at all. I used to be wary of it. Now I work with a lot of people who, and especially business coaches. I'll sit there and I'll work with them. I'll say, hey, look, for my Ember system, I'll give you this discount or whatever. Or I will pay you a referral fee for each new client that you bring on that uses Ember System and you coach their business through Ember System. This is a contract that I make with them that makes it to where I am exclusively the software provider for their business. Why aren't we doing this? Because these business coaches, they're not huge corporations. They're small business owners just like me. But I meet them at a conference. I have a conversation, and then we create a collaboration to where I'm not pushing my item. They're selling my item, and I'm able to charge whatever I want for it because they're the salesman and they're talking to their customers that already trust them. They already know, like, and trust them. We've talked about that, the know, like, and trust factor, but they know, like, and trust them already. So I don't have to get in front of these new clients and try to prove to them who I am or prove how great my product is. They already have somebody that they've been working with before. So now they're pushing that product and selling it at a markup of over what I'm already charging. So I'm not dropping my price, just like old Icelandic's not dropping their price either, because the people that are buying this already know, like, and trust Mirage. They might not know who Icelandic Glacial is, but they know the Mirage Hotel and they trust and they like them, and they put this right there at the on top of the fridge thing, and yeah, people buy it, and they that's a great business model that we're not using as small business owners. We're not collaborating enough with each other. We're not working enough with each other. We're not talking enough with each other. We're not building enough with each other. We'll easily go and take our product and work out a deal with Amazon and sell on Amazon. Why? How many small businesses have brick and mortar stands or shops with empty shelves where you can say, hey, look, I want to put my item on your shelf. Let's work out a deal. Why not help each other that way? Why not push each other's brands in that way? We won't do that. But we'll bust our ass to try to fill out applications to be able to sell on Walmart's new online storefront. Why? There's more power in the small business world than there is in the corporate world. There's more personal touch in the small business world. People don't have people build brand loyalty, but it's not as strong in the corporate world than it is the small business world. When you go into Walmart, the owner of Walmart, or not even the manager of Walmart, they won't walk up to you and call you by name, shake your hand, ask you how your family's doing, ask you how your kid's surgery turned out. They don't have that personal touch with your customers. But a small business shop or a small business owner that you're collaborating with, they know each one of their customers by name. They know their family history. They know everything that's going on with each one of their customers because they're small business. So they have that small business touch. So by you passing up that opportunity repeatedly and not working and collaborating with each other, not going to conferences, not getting into these small business groups and creating these collective collaborations that could be huge, you're killing your business all the time. And I bring that up because of the fact that that's I get a lot of emails. I've been getting a lot of emails. I haven't responded to them. I still will respond to them, but I want to do this video in response to it. But the question is, how do I grow my business faster? How do I compete with how do I compete with competition? Brand positioning. Put your brand in places that your competition can't be. $18 a bottle. they put their brand in a place where their competition can't be. They have no competition. If I turn this camera around and show you the room, you'll see there's 5 of these bottles in here, each with these tags on it, but there's no other water brand in here. They position themselves to be the only brand of water in this hotel room. You guys do the same. When you put your stuff at Amazon, you're not properly positioning your brand. You're putting yourself right next to your competition. When you start selling through Walmart's storefront, you're not positioning your brand correctly. You're putting your brand right next to all the rest of your competition. When you find a small business owner with a couple empty shelves, or even a small business owner with an e-commerce site, and you reach out to them and say, hey, listen, let's talk about me being the main supplier for your lip gloss, or your dresses, or whatever you sell. Sit down, ink these deals out, collaborate with other small business owners, and grow better. And then you can start selling your stuff for however you want to sell it. Don't push back and try to drop your prices because you feel like you're not competitive, or you drop your prices because you feel like you're not selling. That's the wrong way to do business. Don't drop your prices or decrease the value of your product or service because you feel like you're not getting enough sales. Don't do that. Reposition your brand. Put your brand in places where your competitors can't be. That way, there's no competition there. It's just you standing alone with a bottle of $18 water. All right, I'm gonna get out of here, and I just wanted to touch down with y'all, see how y'all doing, man. I love you all, and I'll hit you all back up once I get back to Seattle. Be a short flight tomorrow, but I'll sleep the whole time. But cheers. I'll see y'all later.